everybody. My name is Cheska Litton, and you're watching the PBA on Solar TV, coming to you live from the Cuneta Astrodome. Today, we've got two great games lined up for you guys. First up, we have Game 2 of the quarterfinal series between the Alaska Aces and the Barangay Ginebra Kings, followed by the Rain or Shine Alaska Painters facing BMEG Derby Ace Yamados. And right now, I am here inside the dugout of the Barangay Ginebra Kings, where they are preparing to face the Alaska Aces to even out this series. And over on the other side, we've got Chicky Days.
Thank you, Cheska. Now here's a treat for the Alaska fans. I'm inside the dugout of the Aces, and although they won Game 1 of the series, there's no ounce of overconfidence that you will see in the faces of the Aces, because they know that Ginebra can come back anytime in this series. Now, speaking of our series, here's a quick look at our quarterfinal matches for today's PBA Sunday. In our first match, we have Ginebra and Alaska going up against each other. Alaska got Game 1, and Ginebra will try to even the series, and whoever wins in this best of 5 will eventually go up against the Talking Text Tropang Textures. For our second game, we have the BMEG Yamados going up against the Rain or Shine Alaska Painters, and BMEG won Game 1, and Rain or Shine would like to take Game 2, and whoever wins in that series will take on the San Miguel Beermen. Now, in this first game, who will win? Will it be the Aces or the Gin Kings?
The Alaska Aces continue their mastery over Barangay Ginebra.
Kagiwa launches triple. This is the iron. No. And that's it. Alaska drawing first blood.
Ginebra stayed with that 3-guard lineup, pretty much the whole game. We pretty much didn't waver from our 3 big lineup, so it was really a battle.
Rebound.
That's what playoffs is all about, though. I mean, this kind of game. Just battle and battle and battle.
Can the Kings answer back? Or will it be the old same story?
Jason and I had the rare opportunity to cover that game, and to this day, 2 days later, I'm still puzzled by the fact, okay, fine, Alaska took a 1-0 lead in that series, but was it an ugly kind of win? Or is it the kind of win, okay, let's take it because we're 1-0 in the series? It's an interesting question, because Stilcon was saying battle, and no battle is clean. Actually, it's going to be messy all the way.
Well, it was a grinded out type of game, and what you would expect in the playoffs, nothing's going to come easy. And in that game, we saw it. Points were scarce in that game. It's very difficult to put some points on the board. But in the end, Alaska was able to grind it out enough to get that first victory.
Exactly. And the question, I guess I'm probably asking, was it great defense? Or Lazio, let's try to break it down for us, please.
Well, it depends who you're asking. If you're the Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings Aces, they're going to be saying it was because of our great defense. When you look at the stats all around, one of the problems, obviously right there, for Barangay from the field, both are their conference lows. Plus, when you look at it, why did they shoot only 33% from the field? They shot only 33% from the field because they attempted 27 3-point shots. Were only fouled 11 times. That showed that they weren't aggressive going to the basket. And to add to the problems, other than they were shooting from the outside, you saw it right there. They were out-rebounded by 9 rebounds by the Aces.
We will have 2 graphics here. The first one will show you an interesting play on the name of Cyrus Baguio and how he connived with LA Tenorio in that first game. And we're going to flip it over in just a short while and take a look at the vaulted guard line of Barangay Ginebra. And you heard Tim Tony said, well, they went with their guards, we went with our bigs. And this could be the area where the difference lies in the series.
Well, everyone's been talking about the guard lineup of the Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings, but it was the guard lineup of the Aces that really did the damage against the Gin Kings. Look at the numbers of Cyrus Baguio. He was adjudged best player of that game. Very balanced in terms of numbers. 15 points, 5 rebounds, had the 6 assists, had the 2 steals, plus did not turn the ball over. LA Tenorio, on the other hand, he had that bad 5 turnover output there at the bottom of your screen, but was able to get the 7 rebounds and the 13 points, and that was much better than most of the guards of Barangay Ginebra.
Now, the issue probably when you're talking about Barangay Ginebra, they haven't been together all that much as a unit to find the rhythm, probably the chemistry, and how to really manage the playing time issue. It's easier said than done, and it's something that they'll have to deal with as their team continues with this present lineup.
Well, and we saw it. They were very rusty from the outside. Ronald Tubid was the guy that attempted the most number of shots. 16 field goal attempts, and then he only shot 5 out of 16. Down the line, Mike Cortez, only 3 out of 8. JJ was only 3 out of 8. Willie Miller and Mark Caguiwa combined 5 out of 24. And that's the thing that you were saying. Hindi pa nila nahahanap yung mixture na tama para sa kanila because they still don't know who will be taking the ball and making the shot in the crucial moment.
And if we move up front, Simpson was helping out in that already strong front line, while on the other hand, Daniels, he was there, but the edge apparently going to Simpson.
Well, numbers-wise, in terms of points, you can say na pwede yan, halos even lang yan because Chris Daniels only attempted 12 times. But here's the big problem. Look at the number of rebounds of Diamond Simpson, 22 rebounds, while Chris Daniels only 11 rebounds. And remember, Barangay Ginebra, they play with those 3 guards. So a lot of responsibility on the part of Daniels to get those rebounds.
And now the newly improved, re-energized webpage will be brought up onto your screens as the players are introduced. What do we have, Jason?
Unahin muna natin yung sa Barangay Ginebra because they're the ones that have to make the adjustment. First of all, I believe someone else must beat them. They can't allow Simpson, Baguio, or LA to be the best players on the other team. They have to get the ball out of the hands of those 3. Those 3 players average more than 30 minutes a game, and they're the guys that carry the Alaska Aces. So they have to find someone else to beat them other than those 3. Next up is they have to utilize their depth. We've been talking about all the stars in that Barangay Ginebra squad, but then when we saw it, yes, they outgunned the bench of the other side 24-8. But their bench was only 9 out of 36 from the field. That's only 1 out of every 4 attempts that bench was able to convert when they got it. And finally, they have to play like a team, and they have to play with passion. I felt that there was a lot of one-on-one plays in game 1, and they also played flat. I felt that in many instances of that game, they just didn't play the Ginebra kind of basketball.
Let's try to flip it to the other side and take a look at the Aces who drew first blood after the game last Friday.
But one thing that they did very well in that game was they controlled tempo. They don't want this to be a track meet. They want to be able to set up their offense, and that's what they did. Especially first half of that game, they only gave up 2 fast break points to Barangay Ginebra, and after that, for the game, they actually led in terms of fast break points 10-8. The next up is they have to compete on the glass. Barangay Ginebra, stats-wise, number 1 in the league in terms of rebounding. But in that game, Alaska able to out-rebound Barangay Ginebra by +9, meaning they had 9 more rebounds, utilizing their size. And finally, we talked about this as well in the last game, game number 1. Alaska has to play with poise under all that pressure because when you play a team like Barangay Ginebra, it's more mental and emotional other than the physical because you know that the crowd's going to get involved and they're going to put a lot of pressure on you.
I really felt they played with a lot of poise, especially in the end game when Ronald Tubig was beginning to catch fire. In the meantime, the first attempt at the basket produces nothing, and Tenorio juggles the ball on the baseline for the first takeaway of the Alaska Aces. Baguio took it very strong against Barangay Ginebra in the early goings, and the interesting matchup is Tubid is on Baguio quickly on. And there's the rebound battle, and Yancy Del Campo takes it away. Here comes Caguiwa trying to circle around the defense. Already in, it decided to pop out.
But again, no red shirt underneath that basket. The only reason why Daniels was underneath the basket because he was trying to set up low post. No other rebounder again for the Gin Kings.
A collection of zeros on our scoreboard so far, and that has changed quickly by Diamond Simpson.
Here's the one guy that Ginebra will be very afraid of because in that game we did that. He had a lot of good looks.
Yes.
He just didn't make the basket. So, law of averages.